Look at me. I want you to really take it in. I am a fully grown adult man draped in skin-tight fluorescent green spandex that makes me look like a radioactive lime that failed out of superhero school. I resemble a green screen error that somehow gained a soul and a very specific attitude problem. I have officially traded every ounce of my social reputation for the cold, hard efficiency of biological truth. While I stand here looking like a high-visibility hazard at a chemical spill, let's talk about why your cardiovascular system is currently a disaster, and why the 100 burpees a day challenge is the ultimate litmus test for human grit. Most people embark on this 30-day mission because an algorithm told them to, or because they saw a fitness influencer doing it while looking perfectly groomed and sweat-free. That is the first lie. Burpees are not pretty. They are a physical brawl with gravity. Observe Red, our resident muscle-bound coach. He is currently standing over Green, our relatable novice, screaming that pain is just weakness leaving the body. Red views the human frame as a rebellious teenager that needs to be beaten into submission. Meanwhile, Yellow is in the corner with a high-powered calculator and a spreadsheet, trying to determine the exact caloric expenditure of a single kickback based on Green's current body mass index. Green started day 1 with the dangerous athlete illusion. For the first 10 repetitions, he felt like a god. He thought to himself, "This is easy, I was engineered for this." But then he hit rep 12, and the universe decided to remind him of his mortality. At rep 15, his lungs staged a formal walkout. By rep 20, his heart was pounding against his ribs so violently, he thought his chest cavity was about to undergo a structural failure. Red called this the vibration of success, but Green had stopped counting entirely because keeping track of numbers requires oxygen. And he was currently operating on a zero-air budget. He managed to crawl through 30 reps before reality smacked him in the face like a wet towel. He walked away with a strange mix of pride and a terrifying suspicion that he had just made a catastrophic life choice. Now that I've ruined my reputation by dressing like a highlighter, let me explain the cold science of the first 48 hours. You won't wake up feeling great the next morning. You'll feel like your muscular system has sent out a collective SOS to the authorities. The next day, Green tried to get out of bed, but his central nervous system had essentially changed the locks. Every physical movement became a high-stakes negotiation. Standing up was a challenge. Sitting on the toilet was a full-blown existential crisis. This is the valley of despair, where Yellow usually suggests quitting because the data indicates a 100% chance of misery. However, I stepped in with the secret to efficiency: intelligent recovery. See, the human body doesn't grow when you're jumping. It grows when you're unconscious, but Green couldn't sleep because his legs were twitching like a dying fish. I gave him the ultimate efficiency tool, a total light blockout sleep mask. If your brain sees even a sliver of light, it thinks it's time to hunt mammoths, and it stops the deep repair process. By turning his bedroom into a sensory deprivation tank, Green's body was able to focus entirely on rebuilding his shattered mitochondria. This emphasis on high-quality rest is the only reason he survived long enough to see day 3. By the third morning, Green officially woke up muscles he didn't even know were part of the human catalog. His body was stiff, resembling a rusted suit of armor, but he wasn't broken. This is the moment of truth where you realize that movement is the medicine. You don't wait to feel ready or motivated. Motivation is a scam for people who like to talk about working out. Efficiency is for people who actually do it. Green ignored the screaming in his quads and broke his sets into small, manageable chunks of 10. By the end of the session, something strange happened. He didn't feel worse. He felt a weird, buzzing clarity. His cardiovascular system was finally receiving the memo that it wasn't actually dying. It was just being renovated. By day 5, the experiment shifted from a sufferfest to a skill acquisition phase. Green was no longer landing like a safe falling from a skyscraper. He was landing softer, His push-ups were no longer his chest collapsing onto the floor like a sack of damp flour. His breathing was synchronizing with his movement. He wasn't just doing burpees. He was learning them. He hit 100 reps back to back, and for the first time, he didn't need a 20-minute recovery period to remember his own name. He had crossed the threshold from amateur to apprentice. A week ago, 100 burpees felt like an impossible mountain now. For Green, it was just another Tuesday. He had moved past the "why am I doing this" phase and entered the "this is just who I am now" phase. He owned the struggle. He knew the specific rhythm of the kickback and the exact power required for the jump. He was officially in the top 0.01% of the population. The ones who don't negotiate with themselves when things get uncomfortable. While Red was busy looking for more things to crush, and Yellow was busy documenting the downward trend of Green's waistline, Green himself was finding a quiet, violent peace in the repetition. As the second week bled into the third, a profound physiological shift occurred. The freight train effect, where the first 10 reps make you feel like you've been hit by a locomotive, simply vanished. Green's lungs weren't screaming, they were simmering. His resting heart rate had plummeted, and his blood was becoming a high-octane fuel delivery system. He stopped flailing his limbs and started flowing through the movement. By week 4, the concept of motivation had been completely replaced by pure mechanical autopilot. He didn't need to get hyped up. He just moved. The final results of the experiment were a masterclass in efficiency. After 3,000 burpees in a single month, Green had undergone a total systemic overhaul. He was leaner, his posture was no longer that of a defeated office worker, and he possessed a level of work capacity that made Red's bicep curls look like a vacation. He could climb 3 flights of stairs without sounding like a broken steam engine. He had built an unfair advantage over every person who chooses the path of least resistance. Was it painful? Absolutely. Was it a series of questionable life choices that led to a massive physical and mental breakthrough? Without a doubt. But most importantly, Green stopped fighting his own biology and started mastering it. He proved that the body is an incredibly adaptive machine, provided you have a pilot who refuses to listen to the off switch. I might look like a radioactive tennis ball in this suit, and my dignity may never recover from the things I've done for science, but at least I am a radioactive tennis ball that can do 100 burpees without questioning the meaning of life. If you want to stop guessing and start building a physique that actually works, follow the visual progressions in our calisthenics playbook. It's the map you need when your lungs start staging a coup. Stay consistent or stay weak. Let's get to work.